Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and well, it's been a while, isn't it? Or as some people these days say, it's been a minute, isn't it? It hasn't been a minute, it's been a week, right? I don't know. Anyway, right, so it's been like a week since I've been around. Some of you know why, and some of you don't know why. The reason why some of you do and some of you don't is because I couldn't tell anybody, because YouTube removed the possibility of me posting to my community page, which is counterproductive. YouTube, thank you so much for that. Yes, they wouldn't allow me to post to my page to let you know why I couldn't post. Idiots. That's what they are. Absolute fucking morons. Seriously, I'm sick to death of dealing with morons, and that's exactly what YouTube are. So what's happened is as follows. I couldn't upload. I got a ban, right? I can't really go into why. Can I? No, not really, because if I do, then I will get another ban, and I can't do that again, right? So what I'm gonna do though right now is I'm gonna go through with you something. This is what I recorded this a week ago, right? This next segment I recorded a week ago because I was going to tell you why. I was gonna have a rant about this other video that I tried to upload that caused me to get this ban, but then I found out that I'd been banned and I couldn't. So anyway, enjoy this next segment, right? And join me after the segment because I want to talk to you about some stuff too. So I can't tell you what it was going to be because YouTube will remove this video probably. It was just trying to hint at how not to give them a view on their channel, on their videos. So I uploaded it and YouTube removed it immediately, right? And the reason they gave was ridiculous. They said it violated their terms and conditions, their policies. It said it was a harmful or dangerous act, and I thought to myself, how the fuck was it harmful or dangerous? It wasn't, right? So I looked further and it said content that violates YouTube's terms of service or that encourages others to do so isn't allowed on YouTube, which basically describes what I was trying to get you to do. This includes content that provides instructions about how to download YouTube videos in an unauthorized manner. So I get that, right? I understand that perfectly. Well understood, well explained. That's basically what I was trying to do, right? So I get it, and I understand it to a degree. What I don't understand was the initial description, which said it was a harmful or dangerous content, right? Because it was neither harmful nor dangerous, right? Now, why are they removing that video for that? Because it violates YouTube's policies. When anytime anybody reports the Inghams for a violation of YouTube policies, they don't give a fuck, right? They never ever remove anything on the basis that it violates their policies, ever, right? I'm sure you already know this because you've probably reported them a multitude of times and they haven't acted, right? So why are YouTube doing this now, right? Because, you know, obviously it's annoying for me. I'm a bit annoyed, I am, to be honest, but I understand why they wouldn't want me to share that information, right? But if they're gonna stick up for their own policies, something that's detrimental to YouTube, because that's obviously what it is, it's detrimental to YouTube as a platform, why won't they do something to protect people who are exploiting kids online, and do something to protect children online, right? So if we look now at the actual YouTube policies regarding child safeguarding on their platform. So this is the child safety policy on YouTube, right? So if we have a look down here, YouTube does not allow content that endangers the emotional and physical well-being of minors. A minor is someone under the age of 18 years of age. Now, what do we see on YouTube every single day? And that is the exploitation of children online in the guise of entertainment. That's right, and there's no doubt in my mind that that does endanger the emotional well-being, certainly, of minors in the long run. They will be going to therapy for many years to come because of their parents, but don't let that stand in their way, YouTube. So, what this policy means for you. If you're posting policy, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions noted below. Sexualization of minors, sexually explicit content featuring minors, and content that sexually exploits minors, including minor nudity posted with comedic intent. Right, so they're saying there that any content that exploits a minor's sexuality or sexualness, right, sexually exploits minors, that would include, I'm certain that would include any thumbnails that have like little children in bikinis, you know, to entice that sort of crowd, you know, that sort of content. But, you know, never mind, YouTube. We'll just move on, shall we? Because that's not that important, obviously. Harmful or dangerous acts involving minors, and here they're talking about challenges and things like that, like, you know, like the hairdryer challenge with the talcum powder, that one, and others like it, pranks and such like, that they think are dangerous. Let's have a look. What else? Inflicting or advocating for the infliction of physical, sexual, or emotional maltreatment or neglect of a child, including inflicting emotional distress on minors. So, content that contains infliction of emotional, sexual, or emotional abuse on a child within an educational documentary. Yeah, if it's educational, you can do it, apparently. Content that could cause minor participants or viewers emotional distress, including exposing minors to mature themes. You think maybe the recent crash simulation might have, you know, an effect on young viewers watching? May do. Misleading family content that targets young minors and families but contains sexual themes, violence, obscenities, or other mature themes are not suitable for young audiences. Medical procedures, self-harm, use of adult horror characters, other inappropriate themes that are intended to shock young audiences. The things that the Inghams do on a daily basis, you know, that sort of thing. Yes, technically not allowed, but it's only a technicality, so YouTube are not going to step in on this occasion, are they? Obviously. And that goes on. Make sure your titles, descriptions, and tags match the audience that you're targeting. So, Chris, when you say 7-year-old gets cream pied, that sort of thing, yeah, that's what they're talking about there. It's not allowed. Not that YouTube will care, obviously. That's not what YouTube are about, is it? Obviously not, no. Cyberbullying and harassment involving minors. Content that intends to shame, deceive, or insult a minor. Well, we see this happening on a daily basis with the Inghams, you know, under the guise of banter, obviously. You know, they can mistreat their child, they can call the child names, they can shame the kids and stuff like that, but it's banter, so that's okay, you know. Never mind that the child might actually be upset about it, but, you know, we'll forego that for now. Reveals personal information like email addresses or bank account numbers. Obviously, it doesn't mention there the personal information like, you know, a child's birthday and the middle names and their surnames and their school names and stuff like that. But I would say that should come under the personal information segment there as well. Contains sexualization, we've gone over this before. Yeah, encourages others to bully or harass. Yeah, we've had that, Inghams. Yeah, Chris, we know that you've been encouraging your fans to get involved, you know. Oh, the iFam, they really do like to get involved when their idol talks to them. This policy applies to videos, video descriptions, comments, stories, community posts, live streams, playlists, and any other YouTube product or feature. Age restricted content featuring minors. To protect minors on YouTube, content that doesn't violate our policies but feature children may have some features disabled at both the channel and video level. These features may include comments, live chats, live streaming, video recommendations, community shorts. I shouldn't laugh, but you know, it's there in black and white, isn't it? How to protect minors in your content. Before posting content of yourself, your family or friends, think carefully about whether it may put anyone at risk of negative attention. Minors are a vulnerable population and YouTube has policies to protect them from unwanted attention. Make sure that the minor is supervised by an adult and is performing age-appropriate activities such as demonstrating hobbies, educational content, or public performances. Make sure that the attire worn is age-appropriate. Avoid attire that overexposes the minor or is form-fitting. So what that basically means is don't post your kids in their underwear. Don't post your kids in the bikinis. Don't be, you know, showing off your children, you know, in as much skin as possible. That's basically what that means. And it's there in black and white in YouTube's YouTube policies, right? And yet, how many, I'm not going to go through them right now, but how many actual thumbnails exist on the Ingham channel alone of just their kids in bikinis? Just that, right? And it is right there, it says YouTube's policies. Did they fuck? Because they don't care. Honestly, YouTube protect themselves first and foremost. That is it. That is all they're about. They will protect themselves. And this isn't just because I had my video removed. It's just the hypocrisy of it, right? I can understand why YouTube wouldn't want me to direct people how to download a video from their site, right? I understand why that is the case. I don't agree with them marking it down as harmful or dangerous content, because it's not harmful or dangerous. Now, if you take what they're saying mine is and apply it to any family vlogger, particularly the Inghams, right? Theirs is so much worse, and they never get them taken down, ever. So why is it that mine was immediately removed? It's like it was, they obviously have the algorithms or whatever set up to detect immediately things like keywords that I said in the video, and they took it down, right? So why don't they have something similar to meet the demands of people like Chris and Sarah, who are using their kids in this way, which is completely against their terms and conditions? I don't think they have. I mean, I could ask them, but I'm sure I've asked them before, and they don't know. All they'll tell me is, if you think it's against the terms and conditions, you report it, right? Report it, it does fuck all. It does nothing. Why don't they act on something if it is against their policies? And why don't they act on it then? If you report it, why won't they act on it? Anyway, I've had enough of this, seriously. I just wanted to have a rant because I was feeling a bit like... I wanted to tell you guys how to do what I wanted to, you know, to avoid the views that the Inghams get. If you wanted that, you know, maybe go to my website and find, yeah. So yeah, I hope you've learned one or two things here. So as I said, I've come back from this ban, right? And one thing that I didn't mention was that when I got the ban, I didn't want to appeal it, right? Because I thought to myself, there's no point appealing it. It's not going to get anything done to it because it's going to be against their terms and conditions. I understand that. I didn't have a problem with that. I just had a problem with the hypocrisy of it. So what I did, right, I just deleted the video, the infringing video, off my account. And then as I deleted it, I was reading through the terms and conditions, the policies and everything, and it transpired that the video that I uploaded didn't appear to be against their terms and conditions. So, from what I was reading anyway, right, it didn't look like any of their policies applied to the video that I had uploaded. So I thought to myself, oh, for fuck's sake, right? I just deleted the video, and then it comes up and it says, if you delete the video, once you delete the video, you can't appeal it then. But they didn't tell me that before I deleted it. Didn't tell. This is the annoying part for me. There's no, they don't tell you things, and then afterwards they say, ha ha, well, you should have known that. Fuck, moron, seriously. So I went to the live chat thing that we have here, and I spoke to them, the agent, and I just said that I want to appeal this, but I've deleted it, and he said, yeah, you can't appeal once you've deleted it. And I said, yeah, but I didn't know that I couldn't do that. And he said, yeah, well, that is the case. And I said, yeah, but I didn't know. I do now want to appeal it. Yeah, you said no, but you've deleted it, so you can't appeal now. But I didn't know. Right, the point is, right, because you can go round and round in circles with these, and even if they are wrong, at any point, YouTube, there's no way of getting around it, right? So if they don't tell you something and then they delete something, or you delete something based on them, right? There's no way of then turning that around and saying, like, you told me to do this, or you wanted me to do this, and I did this. And they'll say, well, you know, you should have known. Or whatever. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's just my gripe, and I bet you guys are glad you're not creating videos, because otherwise you would have this hassle too. Anyway, right, so what else did I want to say? Right, so I'm glad you're still with me, right? You're probably wondering what I'm going to say that's so interesting, right? I don't have a speech prepared, so I'm going to wing it and hope for the best, and hope for something that, you know, hope something good comes out. Anyway, right, so I've had some time to think over the past week, and it transpires that I'm, how shall I put this that's not going to upset you? I'm a bit fed up, if I'm being honest, of the whole, like, Ingham twatting thing. Well, not just Inghams, all of those families that I cover, really. The whole situation is, like, it's got out of hand, and it's got to a stage where I don't think that I'm doing any good. I don't think we're doing any good, in actual fact. My overall goal is to try and get YouTube to stop allowing them to be monetized, stop child exploitation and things like that. Some people don't agree with the way that I go about it. Things like, you know, when I'm like when I'm taking the piss out of Chris and Sarah, you know. Some people don't like that, and some people think that it's just me hating on. I'm not just hating on them for the sake of hating on them. I'm trying to do it in a comedic way in order to get people to watch me and then eventually stop watching them. But sometimes it comes across like I'm hating on them, and that's not really my intention. And also, I don't want to hate on them. I want them to stop what they're doing, but they're not going to stop what they're doing. Chris and Sarah definitely won't stop what they're doing. Ben and Zoe are not going to stop because I don't think they have the capacity or the intelligence to know that they are doing something wrong quite often. I mean, anybody that wants to put their kids in front of, you know, the internet, there's got to be something up there that's not quite right. And also, I think that Zoe in particular has possibly some form of mental thing going on. I don't know, so I'm not going to diagnose her, but from looking at her, it seems like she's quite an anxious, nervous type person. So I would say that a lot of what is perceived as her kids being neglected or whatever, right, it's probably more to do with Zoe not being able to cope, I think. Possibly, I don't know, right? Again, that's another matter, isn't it? That's something for those involved to sort out. I can't sort that out myself, you know. It's not something I can get involved with. Ben just wants fame. That is clear as day what he wants, right? And it doesn't matter whether or not his kids want fame or not. He'll still film his kids irrespective. Even the older ones who've said that they don't want to be on film, he won't respect them, and he'll put them on film anyway. And that's definitely something that he needs to figure out and sort out, right? Because it's not right. But then there's the whole who was it that I talked about recently? The Baldwin debacle, right? Where they went away. They stopped vlogging partially because of me, not entirely because of me. It was about everybody in general that was talking about them and hating on them and delving into their lives. Particularly Kev, who, you know, I think, well, I don't think it's none of anybody's business. I think what has happened with Kev in the past, I don't think it actually is. And that obviously got to a stage where they decided to leave YouTube, and although they've obviously recently come back now, I've no intention of putting my videos back up or starting back up on them, because I think best well left alone, because I didn't enjoy the fallout of it last time. I didn't enjoy making them feel like that. I didn't, right? I don't want them to be filming their kids and everything like that, but if put up against like destroying their family, I don't think I can. I don't want to do that. I really don't. I read the post that she put out the other week, and I thought it was, you know, it was very transparent. She was very open about things that maybe people didn't understand and maybe people were wanting to know, and hopefully that'll put some people's minds at rest about what's gone on, right? And the thing about Kev, she was open about that. She said Kev made this mistake when he was young, and he he's moving on and learned from it, and I don't see anything wrong with that, right? Lots of people make mistakes when they're younger, and it's how they grow from that, and that's a positive thing, so I have no intention of going over that. Then there was the Delaney one recently, where I did the video on her, and again, it's another one I'm not especially proud of. It's a dangerous one, not dangerous one. It's an iffy one, I think, because some of the things that she does in front of her children, I don't agree with, right? I absolutely don't. It's not the fact that she swears, and she swears a lot, right? It's not the fact that she does swear, it's the fact that she does it right there in front of her kids and in the most grotesque ways, right? So I don't feel like that's the best environment for a child to grow up in. However, should I be... I don't think I should be getting involved again. I feel like that's why I removed the video. A lot of people were asking me, why have you removed the Delaney video? And I didn't answer, and that's the reason why, right? I don't want to carry on just hating on someone because they're basically swearing in front of their kids, right? I don't think that's the right thing to do, And then going back to the Inghams, now, Chris and Sarah, we both know what they are, right? We both know. We all know, right? We do. We know what they're up to. We know what they're doing. We know they've destroyed their kids' lives beyond any recognition, right? You look at their kids, especially the 3 older ones, from when they were before they left education to how they are now. They are almost unrecognizable, right? And that's really, really sad. You can see it in them. I don't really know what to do about that anymore. I mean, I can keep talking about it. Chris and Sarah will keep fighting against it, and they will keep doing what they're doing. The only problem I have, the big problem that I have, is Chris's attitude to like everything in the world, right? And he's teaching his kids those values. Chris has this problem with like the system, authority. He's very paranoid. He thinks that everyone's out to get him and others. He thinks that everything is like set up to... It's like you shouldn't believe the news because, well, the news are lying to you all the time. It's a big conspiracy and things like that. And he follows Andrew Tate, obviously, and he has all these misogynistic type views about life and about women. And he's teaching his kids the exact same values. Now, that's a really bad road to go down, because his kids, especially the girls, well, no, all of the kids, but the girls are going to grow up thinking that their partners can treat them the way that he treats everybody, right? And that's clearly wrong, obviously. And then you've got Jace, who on the other hand will grow up to be like him, which again is very dangerous. Now, Chris won't see anything wrong with this because he thinks that his way of thinking is great. He thinks he's a great person, a great role model, a great man, he thinks he is, but he's not, but I don't really know what else I can say about that, about him. I mean, I've watched their vlogs tirelessly, day after day after day after day for about 4 years, right? And sometimes I've been able to watch them without too much hassle. You know, it's my evening treat, if you like. You know, I just sit down, I have my dinner, and I watch the Inghams, and it's like, that's what I do, or did. And I could do it even if they were pretty boring. I could just watch it just to see what they would come up with next, you know. But as time got on, even that now though, it's just like, it's so insanely boring and insanely pointless. If you just sit back and what, like the last few days since the crash thing, I haven't watched a single vlog since the part 2 of the crash, and I haven't wanted to watch them. I take a little look at what the title of the video is, and most of the time, even if it sounds like they've done something like the whale watching or the skiing, did they do skiing the other day, sledging or something, I don't know. You know, you just know that if you go and watch it, it will be the same shit. It'll be like Sarah waffling on for about 20 minutes, and then the kids will be flying down the slopes or doing something half-heartedly, and then you'll have Chris, you know, getting his say in about something. But it's the same thing day after day after day. It's not very interesting, it's not very enticing, it's quite boring if I'm being honest. So I haven't missed watching them at all, and I'm not, you know, I don't know if I'll never watch them again. You know, depends if they do something. If they do something, you know, controversial. I am still quite interested in what this life-changing event is going to be, but until that happens, I probably won't watch them again. Am I missing anything? No, I don't think so. Anyway, where is this all leading you to? Because I'm sure you're probably listening thinking, what's he getting at? What's he gonna do? What's happening? The answer to that is, it's a difficult one, right? Because I don't want to do... I want to do, right? Okay, so I want to do things like, I don't want to target specific families is what I'm saying, right? Because I don't think it's doing anybody any good. Essentially hating on these families. That's what I'm doing, is pretty much hating on, you know, I don't intend hating on them, but it's like you get into it, and my way of like doing things is kind of a sarcastic, snarky type way. That's how I enjoy, that's my type of content, that's what I do, right? And it comes across there as very much hating. Can I get people to come away from watching the Inghams? I honestly don't think that I can do that anymore. There was a time a while ago where they still had quite a lot of subs and quite a lot of viewers, and occasionally I would get quite a few people come across to my channel saying that they were watching Inghams, they're fed up of watching them now, and I'd shown them things that they hadn't looked at before and hadn't known, and they had stopped watching them and came across them and started watching me, which was good. But I honestly don't think there is many IFAM that are changeable anymore. I don't think they have enough fans there. The only fans that they have left are basically your vulnerable adults and your kids. Not even that many kids, the vulnerable kids mainly, right? And these ones are not, you're not able to change their minds on the Inghams. They're set in their ways, so I don't think I can change their mind myself. I can't do it. So yeah, I don't want to give up, but I'm not going to target specific families anymore. I don't mind I don't mind talking about general child exploitation, like some of the videos that I've done in the past. The only problem here is that not that many people watch them, right? And I kind of understand why. Obviously, that an Ingham video would get more views than a general child exploitation video would, because people are interested in what the Inghams are doing. They want to just snark on the Inghams, and the same goes with other families that I've targeted in the past. It's just very frustrating to me when I do like what I perceive as a very important topic about trying to get people to stop, to try and protect kids online, and then nobody watches, because these type of videos, they take a lot longer to produce than like an Ingham video does, and then when nobody watches, it kind of makes you feel a bit deflated about it and not want to do it again, right? And then I've had some issue. I'm getting a bit fed up as well in general about people not really caring about protecting kids online. And I'll give you two examples. Firstly, there's my petition that I put forth recently. Now, thank you so much to all those who have signed it. Brilliantly done. Now, I'm not complaining about anybody that's not signed it. Okay, so I don't want to come across like I'm complaining, but there are, I think there's about 150 signatures so far at the time that I'm recording this, and there were, well, I've got 10,000 people. I haven't got 10,000 active viewers, obviously. I've got 10,000 subs, but you see what I mean. There has to be more than 150 people that want to protect kids online. Now, I think there's a possible discrepancy about the way I've worded the petition, right? Because I've had some people come forward and say that they don't believe that under 18s should be completely off social media, right? And I think this may be why some people haven't signed it, and I kind of understand, but I also don't understand, because in my opinion, right, this is only my opinion, and it doesn't have to be under 18s, it could be under 16s, you know, but in my opinion, a child, because people like YouTube and social media, they always say under 13s are no-go, right? But I don't think that 13, 14, 15, even 16-year-olds should be putting themselves and their image online, because that's a very dangerous time for their image to be online. I know that they have a higher ability to consent to putting themselves online, but that doesn't mean anything if some weirdo gets hold of their image and just puts it out there to wherever they want, right? So the best way of protecting a child or teenager from having their image online is to not allow their image to be online. And it doesn't matter if an adult okays it. You know, if their parent says, oh yeah, you can put your child online. That's what most social media tends to think is okay. You know, if there is parental consent, then it's okay. But a lot of the time, parental consent means that parents either A, are trying to exploit their kids, or B, they don't really care about the kids' safety or whatever, right? So that's what I think anyway. And I was a bit disappointed the lack of people who wanted to sign it. Maybe you don't think that it's going to make any change. Maybe that's why, right? Anyway, I'm not complaining to anybody, so I don't want people to click off and just think that I'm complaining about this, right? Because I'm not. But the other thing, now this may surprise you a little bit. surprised me anyway, right? So what happened recently, I was browsing TikTok, right? And I came across one, I think I was recommended a video, right? And it was of a child, a school child, don't know, 15, 14, 15, don't know. But it was definitely of school age because she was in her school jumper and blazer, right? And you could see the name of the school on it. And I thought, hang on a second, no, that's wrong, because it was a public account with thousands of followers, and it had the school name right there. And I thought, that's a huge safeguarding risk, and I was very disappointed. And you see this type of thing a lot, where it doesn't look like these kids know that, firstly, having a public account is wrong, right? Because it's dangerous. So are they not getting taught this at school or what, right? So what I did, and I don't think I was wrong for doing it, personally. I think I did right. Okay, I went to that school's website, I emailed them, and I sent them a picture of this, this account, and I told them what the problem was and why it's a problem. And they really shouldn't actually need to be told why it's a problem. You'd have thought that they would understand why. And anyway, I didn't get an acknowledgement, and about a week or more later, the video's still there, the account's still there, and nothing's changed. So my takeaway from that is that the school don't give a fuck, which is disappointing, because I would have thought that would have been one of the main things that you get taught at school. Don't reveal which school you go to is one of the first things I would say, but clearly not on this occasion. Anyway, yeah, that was very disappointing, and I feel like a lot of the time, like fighting a losing battle. Nobody seems to care, or not seems to want to protect kids. It feels like it should be something people want to do, but it doesn't feel like they do. Anyway, so that's where I am at with that, and the takeaway from this is that I'm going to be changing the content on my channel going forward, because I want to do something which people are more like, it's not a hate-based content. It's, I'll still talk about child protection, and I support that 100%, and I'll still do everything that I can, but I don't think I've got the wherewithal to put it out there and effect change myself. I'll do my best, but so the content I've gone through ideas of what I'd like to do going forward, and my favourite type of content is like true crime and things like that. Now, some of you know that I've done a few true crime videos in the past, so I'd like to get on with doing some of that, I think, because I find those interesting to watch myself, and I know a lot of people do. It's something that a lot of people will watch, and hopefully I can, get a few of you to watch too. Would be nice. But I also, a few of you also want me to do things like a few vlogging type segments. Like, I intend doing a cooking segment, which may or may not be entertaining. I think a few of you enjoyed it last time. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna give it a go and see if anybody does enjoy it, and if not, then I'll knock that on its head, obviously. But you know, I think this is the best way for me to go forward, I think, and I hope that nobody's too disappointed or just gonna run out and I don't know, don't do anything stupid, you know. I'm still here, and I'll still talk about things, you know. I still keep an eye on the Inghams and what they're up to, although I haven't been watching their vlogs, but I do. It hasn't escaped my attention what's happened in the past week, in the past few days. So yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel. Will you subscribe? There's probably still nobody watching, you know. I've rambled on for such a long time that probably nobody's watching anymore. Anyway, thank you for your time and your efforts and your attention, and I will catch you hopefully in another video very shortly. Take care, and bye bye.